In today's video, I'm going to talk modules and their releases over the next 6 months. We'll look at their stats and abilities, how to acquire them, and what to plan for. Alright, let's make some modules. A quick overview on modules first. They release with the Dossoles holiday event, starting with summoners and support cards. Think of these as a new form of mastery, but for the whole character. To unlock a module, you first meet a level requirement and have 100% trust, then complete a small set of missions, often involving using an operator a certain number of times, or completing a particular stage with a specific squad restriction, and finally you combine L&D, materials, and the module parts to create the final module. Higher rarity characters have higher requirements. The biggest cost in building a module isn't the module itself, it's getting the operator to the required level. Modules are simple to understand, much simpler than the likes of recruitment, banner pools, and certainly the base. Did you know when searching for clues, the operator's rarity and promotion levels affect the search speed? Before I go into recommendations and planning advice, let's just run through all the modules releasing over the next 6 months. This new feature launches with modules for support guards and summoners. For support guards, the focus is on increasing their damage while not blocking. They by default hit for 120% damage when attacking enemies they aren't blocking, designed to place them behind the front line with their 2-tile attacks. With modules, this trait increases to 130% damage when attacking enemies they aren't blocking. However, for Doberman, it allows placement on high ground instead. Support guards are an overall weak archetype, so any buff is sorely needed, though these aren't the most impactful buffs. Palace benefits the most by default for being the best amongst them and dealing actual damage, so the extra 10% and those stats do make a difference. Summoners negotiated a much better deal with their modules, granting most of them the ability to call their first summon without using a deployment slot. This is a notable buff, playing right into what they do best and countering their main weakness of taking a deployment slot with each summon. That said, summoners often go into battle with small squads, so the extra space may make no difference at all. Their stat boosts aren't that big either. Deep Color's module gives her 3 extra summons and a lower cost on each summon, which does help her because she doesn't have any way of recovering summons without redeployment. Cthulhu's supremacy rises. The next batch arrives with the release of Chapter 9 Stormwatch about a month after Dossoles, adding modules for AoE Medics and Deadeye snipers. AoE Medic modules are about increasing their attack range by 1 cell, except for Perfumer, who will be able to heal 4 targets instead of 3 at once. The expanded range when it comes into use can be amazing. Sometimes that single cell increase means 1 less healer needed. However, if the extra range isn't relevant, then those modules don't do much. Note that it doesn't affect skills, and Telopsis already increases range with her skills. Perfumers, on the other hand, will almost always be useful, especially on stages with environmental AoE damage. Overall, they're still very nice though. For Deadeye snipers, the default module is all about increasing that kill power in the way they do best, at range. The further the sniper is from the target, the more damage, up to an extra 15%. Fartooth doesn't release until after Chapter 9. Ambriel and Fartooth benefit the most from these, facilitated by their unlimited range skills. Note the higher than normal attack stat boosts as well. Excellent modules. Firewatch, a 5-star, has the unique module this time, granting her 1 SP for every shot that doesn't kill the enemy. This is an amazing effect for her second skill's long recharge. She can now drop more nukes. Unfortunately, this contributes little when she's using her first skill, which doesn't suffer from recharge problems, and when unsure of which skill to use with Firewatch, skill 1 is the default. Fartooth releases a month after Chapter 9 in the Pinus Sylvestris event with her module from the outset, as she is a Deadeye sniper. Another month following, the Near Light event adds modules for fast redeploys and chain casters. Fast redeploys are amongst the most used in the game, so for them to get modules so soon is a surprise. And they are good. They are split into 2 camps, lower cost versus more damage. Red and Kafka do 10% more damage when there are no allies in the surrounding 4 tiles, an easy condition to meet for their class. This benefits Red far more than Kafka. Frankly, Kafka's is a bottom tier priority to build, as Red's unique selling point is her added kill power to any situation. The other fast redeploys pulled the better modules though. Phantom, Gravel, and Waifu refund 80% cost on retreat instead of the usual 50%. For Gravel this is minor as she's already cheap, but for Phantom, oh man, this is significant. His biggest weakness is his redeployment cost, which adds up quickly, so to reduce this by so much is amazing. Accounting for operator use and the improvements brought on, Phantom has the best module in the foreseeable future. Waifu has the same passive as Gravel and Phantom, though as she isn't on their level, it won't see as much use. Chaincasters, an archetype in need of all the help it can get. Passenger and Lazy slow targets for 0.8 seconds instead of the current 0.2 seconds, and the damage only drops by 10% instead of 20% with each jump of the chain lightning. Pudding slows by a shorter 0.5 seconds and has no damage reduction in her chain. At first glance, it may seem that Pudding got the best deal, but accounting for Passenger's skills, his has the largest impact as it makes him a great source of AoE slow. With this module, Passenger upgrades from worst 6-star to a decent one. Take him into integrated strategies and he is a god. It would have been nice to give them all no damage penalty on the chain, and it still wouldn't make them the best archetype. And furthest away amongst those that we know of, Dualstrike Guards and Charger Vanguards receive their modules during Break the Ice over 5 months from now. Dualstrike Guards, another archetype in need of a major boost, disappoints with its selection of modules. Chen, Tachanka, and Bybeak receive a 10% damage boost on their skills. Something is better than nothing, but a bigger something is better than merely something. For Bybeak, this isn't an issue, as her strength is in her stun skill, and the little attack speed boost does facilitate that a bit better. Chen in particular needs a bigger buff centered on her skill recharge rather than her damage. Cutter, on the other hand, has a solid module adding armor piercing to her already good DPS as a 4-star. Charger Vanguards, commonly known as DP on kill Vanguards, receive a major buff. Bagpipe, Wildmane, and Grani will generate 2 DP instead of 1 per kill, helping them make up for generating the least amount of DP amongst the Vanguard archetypes. They also refund their full DP cost on every retreat, negating the increase from each deployment, which is quite handy if you want to redeploy them later to help assist with killing or perhaps even assassinating a single target. For Bagpipe, already one of the best operators in the game, this just makes her even stronger. And don't forget the 50 attack stat boost as well. Reed and Vigna focus on damage, so their modules add 15% attack against enemies below 40% HP. These buffs are nice as it helps them score the killing blow for those points when other allies are also attacking the target. Overall, one of the better sets of modules. Grani has the 2 DP on kill module, though she doesn't benefit as much given her defensive build. Now that we've seen the effects of each module, where does one acquire module data blocks, the core component of modules? You get 1 per week from weekly missions, 4 per month from the Red Voucher store, costs 120 Red Vouchers each, which I do recommend getting every month. If you want more, there's another 4 from the Gold Certificate store, costing 20 gold each, which is quite expensive and I do not recommend unless you're a whale. You will also receive 2 per major side story event. There's a bonus 2 from the Dossoles holiday event, likely to celebrate the release of modules. Reruns of pre-module events don't count. There's the upcoming Maria Nerl rerun that does not have any modules. There is 1 per contingency contract event, beginning with CC7 onwards. That means over the next 6 months, there's a total of 59 module data blocks, or 83 if you're willing to spend gold certificates. So, who to prioritize? The answer is quite simple. Go for your most used characters first. There's no point building modules on operators you don't use, even if they are top tier. Meta units are more likely to receive priority, even if other non-meta units have better modules. Top tier units are still top tier units, even if lower tier units have better modules for that unit. Do consider how many blocks you will need if you intend to build multiple modules in the next batch update. In my case, I will build modules for Gravel, Red, and Phantom, if I have them by then, as soon as they're available, so I'll want to hold onto 7 blocks. There is no penalty in building a module. No matter how small the buff, it is still an improvement. The biggest roadblock will be meeting those level requirements. Furthermore, will the materials required be better spent on promoting another unit first? Consider that too. Consider the resource cost. Building every module set for release over the next 6 months requires 74 module blocks. Those who don't spend gold certificates will receive 59 module blocks in that time, so you can build just about all of them. Planning for which modules to build isn't a difficult task. Worry more about leveling the operators. If unsure on which to build first, focus on the more powerful units or those you use most. That's it. Honestly, don't stress. I hope this video has helped you understand modules. As I said previously, these aren't anything to agonize over. Do comment below if you need any further advice or just want to say something. Like and share the video if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.